Prabhu, Prabhu, Tulsi Prabhu, and Pandav Bandhav. So actually, very important thing in bhakti to make progress is association. So everyone can come forward, but glory will get please, so, very happy that Ramraj is not there. Don't so much for it. And just nice that Ramraj came to Krishna consciousness in 1978. Few months of Krishna on the planet. Ramraj came and gave it full time. And since 1978 till this day, he's a monk. He's been a monk, and he got this. He realized the importance of Harinam by the divine association of Indra. So actually, I told on Friday, if you listen to majority of the lectures of Indra says, I'm not somebody deciding, Ramra will decide. And you can hear Ramra's voice actually reciting the verse. So, because of the constant association, for those of you who remember Ram, he led 24-hour Harinam Sankirtan for 24 years in Vrindavan.
Haribo!
And long before he left the world, everyone knew was a liberated personality going back to God. He also revealed it. So through Harinam Sankirtan, we can go back to God, and Prabhu was the signing testimony for that. So last Friday, we first Ramraj Prabhu to speak on Harinam Prabhu. When the says, this is a time pass story of Friday evening, Saturday and Sunday. Bhakti means 24/7. So he purchased that, and past 30 years, Ramraj Prabhu is doing Harinam Sankirtan in New York City, without even one day, gap. But sometimes they get 8 hours, nowadays I think they reduced it. But when you get in New York City, 8 hours Harinam Sankirtan. 3 times more Haribol to Ramraj Prabhu.
Haribol! 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 Jai!
Many of money and and the bank account normally depend on the administration temple and from the shop, and how many of us can do? If you agree, you raise your hands. It's difficult, right? You're doing it. Actually, no, he's not there. We have to raise it to $1,500 a week. And for that, how we are seeing engaged 1978, there were no names, and they had to collect money from local viewers. She would cover all varieties of things just to get $1,500. And what is that gift? Most of us want to go to, what is that? Most of us want to go to, whenever there is a holiday, Disneyland, Hollywood. His desire was to go to Vrindavan, stay for a few months, but only 3 weeks, 21 days, or back and forth, of course, a flight journey. And when they would drop him to airport, Ramraj, come back fast, because temple has to be maintained, right? The lights are on, money will not come from the air. Somebody said recently, you don't ask money because they think they have so much money. No, we don't have so much money. Trust me, past 3-4 months we are in debt, but we don't ask. Why? Temple should not pester for money. We should pester you for bhakti. Increase 2 rounds, 4 rounds, 16 rounds. That's what we want from you. So he led the life like that. That's Ramraj Prabhu. And he came, so I want. So Natwar Prabhu, actually, from a very affluent Caucasian family from Michigan, both parents, they're pharmacists, whole family is pharmacy. And he studied in UFM Ann Arbor, University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. And then he came in contact with devotees, Dev Madhav Prabhu. And then he went to New York City. He was very attracted to Ram Rai Prabhu's Kirtan. Since then, the pillar behind this 13-year New York Sankirtan, one of the pillars is actually Ram Rai Prabhu's left and right hand. Everything is network around Prabhu. He could have been like any other software consultant, and could have pursued that American dream that for these parents and families have been having, but he chose to become a monk. So he's actually Michigan product, and very grateful to Network Ram Prabhu. Let us express our gratitude by 3 times loudly chanting Hari Bol. Pandav Bandha Prabhu is from Bulgaria. He joined full time 1997. Since then, he's been doing full time. He wrote a book on Bhagavad Gita. What is it? Remember Me and Fight, right? So he wrote a book. They travel in Europe, and they have only one thing: Harinam. Harinam is the way. But of course, they also preach. Very, very sincere. Where can we find this saffron-clad devotees? Make money, you'll be happy. Enjoy sense gratification, you'll be happy. So they declare war on the norms of the society, and they've decided to join full time. So he comes regularly. They stay in New York City for 6 months. They stay in the temple, crowded. Brahmacharya ashram, no complaint. He never complains. You see, very silent. So let us express our gratitude to Pandav Bandha Prabhu. Loudly chanting 3 times Hari Bol. Tulsi Prabhu joined full time year 2000. Past 25 years. He's also from Bulgaria. And it's so difficult to convince Indians to 2 rounds to 4 rounds. Difficult. Then after reaching 60 rounds, initiation difficult. But yesterday I was, 25 years doing full time. First time I met him in Mayapur chanting. He was chanting in Radha Madhava temple. I said, wow. So, ladies and gentlemen, goal of life is bhakti. 2 years before taking birth, you don't know where you were. One day after leaving this world, you don't know you will be. So, present, there is no guarantee you'll do bhakti tomorrow or do bhakti today. So thank you very much for such a wonderful. How many of you loved the Kirtan? I don't need to speak then. Very amicable and amiable character. You can connect with anybody. They preach in New York City. 6 months. Then Bulgaria. Then India. They travel all over just to spread Harinam. Let us express our gratitude to Tulsi Prabhu by loudly chanting 3 times Hari Bol. So we are honored and blessed by your presence. So we start with Ram Rai Prabhu, and already I spoke about him. So he doesn't. So that person, initially I started my, what is it? Not the word glorification, but that is him, Ram Rai Prabhu. So we'll start with Ram Rai Prabhu, 20 minutes. And I want every one of you to see them. That's why, though it's not customary, usually one person speaks in our temple. 20 minutes each. And what?
I want to hear some others, and then
okay, and then okay. We'll start with okay. Start 20 minutes each.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
When I was at school and the teacher was asking, so who will speak first? I was saying, okay, me. Because then I know it's over and I can just relax till the end. So I'll take my chance. Om Jnana Timirandasya Ginanjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First, I want to thank to Yugo Kishore Prabhu for inviting us to take part in this special occasion, special for you, special for us also, because it celebrates significant event. A temple was open and deities were installed, and wherever there is a temple of Krishna, and whenever there are deities and there is deity worship, and wherever there is the singing of the holy names, there is auspiciousness. So now we can safely say that Michigan and Detroit is purified. Why? Because of the endeavors of the devotees. Devotees, they are like wish-fulfilling trees. Acharyas are explaining that Krishna is not independent, and he is following in the footsteps of his devotees. He's the Supreme Lord. We were singing Ishvara Parama Krishna. Yes, Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karna Karna. And still, although he is Ishvara Parama, Supreme Ishvara, he is not at all independent. He is dependent on the desires, the will of his devotees. So Acharyas are explaining that whenever a sincere devotee wants to give mercy to someone, it doesn't matter if he is qualified or not, Krishna is ready to reciprocate. Krishna will make fortune in this personality. Why? Just because of the desire of the devotee. And like that, if we have this place here, it means some devotees were meditating. Some devotees, they were desiring something good to happen, a miracle to happen. And that's why now we are sitting here and we are chanting the holy names of Krishna. And if I'm correct, the name of this temple is Ekachakradam. It's a very special name. I was not expecting this name. Ekachakra is a special place. Why? Because it's connected with a special personality. Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki. Nityananda Prabhu, he is the shelter of the most fallen. We say that Lord Chaitanya is the most fallen, is the savior of the most fallen. Namo Mahavadanyaya, Krishna Prema Pradayate, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya, Namne Gauratishe Namaha. But actually, Lord Chaitanya, he stayed in India, yes? But his representatives, the representatives of Nityananda Prabhu, they came to the Western world, like Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, he is representative of Nityananda Prabhu. He came to save the most fallen. And Nityananda Prabhu, his whole appearance is very unique, isn't it? We have an idea of the perfect saintly personality. What is our idea? Should speak very softly, yes?
Very peaceful.
Very peaceful, maybe dressed in whatever, saffron cloth, or
Doesn't eat a lot.
doesn't eat a lot. Skinny, never becomes angry. Well, Nityananda Prabhu, he was breaking all these things regularly. Why? Because he was known as Avadut. Avadut means someone who doesn't necessarily obey the social behavior rules. He can do different things at different times. And still Nityananda Prabhu, he is known as the most merciful. Even more merciful than Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya, we can see when he was preaching, of course, he would spread the holy name. That was, we could say, the main way to give his mercy to everybody. But he actually got in a more deep conversations only with few personalities, and they were all very special souls, like Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Prakashananda Saraswati. These were big people at that time. So Lord Chaitanya, he agreed to debate with them, to talk to them and to convince them about the philosophy. Now Lord Nityananda, he was sent to preach in Bengal. How many of you have been to Bengal? Okay, quite few. You know, Bengali people, they are very educated people, but they are very simple. Their heart is very simple. So sometimes you can just go and tell them something about Krishna and they are immediately like, Hariva, Hariva, Hariva. So Lord Nityananda, he was going from village to village and preaching to all these simple people. And he was making them devotees. And what was his main weapon? Harinam Sankirtan. The special kirtans of Nityananda Prabhu, they were famous. Why? Because he would enter with his people in some village, and then suddenly everyone will be so attracted from the kirtan, they will just join and they will leave the village. They will just move on with Nityananda Prabhu, and the village will become completely empty. And then next village and next village. And his kirtans, they were continuing with days and sometimes weeks. And at some point, people were getting so crazy, they would just go up on the trees and start jumping on the branches and start breaking branches. And ecstasy was so overwhelming. So this is Nityananda Prabhu. So if we are calling this place Ekachakradam, it means we should pray for the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu to create a replica of Ekachakradam, a replica of his place of preaching. And yesterday I could get a glimpse from the mood of Nityananda Prabhu, especially the last 2-3 hours. Some people, they were uncontrollable. And the kids were getting more crazy than the parents. Mridanga players, they were like, oh. So we want this, we want transcendental madness. And I just wanted to read to you a very famous song about Nityananda Prabhu. It's a song that is actually giving us the essence of the whole process of bhakti in a very easily understandable way. Nadia Godrume Nityananda Mahajan Patiache Namahata Jiverakaran. So Nityananda Prabhu, he is opening a market. What is he selling? Yeah, not cars. He's selling the holy name. He wants to give the holy name to each and every one. Shraddhavan Janahe, Shraddhavan Janahe. Oh, this is what I want, Nityananda Prabhu is saying. I just want to see a little bit faith. And then I am ready to make a deal with you. Just show me that you have a little bit faith. You have faith in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness. What is that? You are eternal servant of Krishna. And the best way to make a spiritual advancement is to chant the holy names of Krishna. If you show this, I'll be very satisfied. Nityananda Prabhu is saying, and I will give you the mercy. Ram Roy may help me, but Srila Prabhupada was asking someone, I think he was tested if he is ready for initiation. So Srila Prabhupada said, so what is our philosophy? Who are you? And then the devotee said, well, I'm servant of Krishna. Okay. Who is Krishna? Oh, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What is your duty? I have to serve him with love and devotion. Okay, then you are qualified. So this is what Nityananda Prabhu wants to see, that we sincerely want to do something for the pleasure of Krishna. Prabhura Agyai Bai, Magiye Bhiksha. Please give me these three things. Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shiksha. Please chant the name of Krishna. Please worship Krishna and follow the instructions of Krishna, given in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Aparada shunya hoye loho Krishna nam. Just give up aparada, give up this inimical behavior, inimical towards Krishna, inimical towards the devotees. Forget about this. Don't think you are the great person. We are not great people. We are actually very, very small, insignificant servant of Krishna, of the Vaishnavas, of all the living entities. So give up this inimical mood, this envy, Loho Krishnanam, and just be ready to surrender to the name of Krishna. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Danapran. Krishna is your mother, Krishna is your father, and he is your only wealth in life. Why? Because we may have many gadgets in this life, we can have many things, but this is not our real wealth. Real is something that you can keep forever, isn't it? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or yes?
Yes.
Okay. So if you have something, if you really say it's yours, that means you can do with it whatever you like. Can we do whatever we like with our body? Sometimes you get up in the morning and you make a plan. Oh, let me do today this and this and this thing. Oh, how I will enjoy. I'll just go and buy pizza and ice cream. Woohoo! But then anything can happen. You don't know. Like people, they make so many plans and they don't reach their final destination. If we are really in control of our body, then we should be able to do whatever we like, but we cannot. Sometimes something happens with the body. Like we had an incident like 2 or 3 weeks ago in our temple in New York. A senior devotee came, very nice devotee from London, to visit us there and help in the preaching. And early in the morning, one devotee was just about to go for Mangalarati, and he saw him just fell down in the corridor. And we were like shocked immediately. He just came, started knocking on the door. Prabhu, Prabhu, come. So we went over there and he was lying on the floor and he was unconscious. Hopefully, like by Krishna's mercy, he came back to his senses after just a few minutes. But he was kind of injured, his hand a little bit and his head also a little bit. So nothing serious, Krishna's mercy. But he just had a plan. Okay, let me get up and take a shower and go to Mangalarati. But you don't know. Why? Because this body is not listening always. Sometimes it's listening, sometimes it doesn't listen. Sometimes you give the body to eat something and the body eats it and then says, oh, I don't want this. Okay, back. Why? Because you have a plan, but the body has another plan. So like that, with everything that we have in life, it's not our real wealth. We have it for a while and then it's gone. Our real wealth is Krishna. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Danapran. Krishna is our real wealth. Krishna ra samsara kori chadi anusar. Jive doya Krishna nam sarva dharma sar. The essence of all religion, the essence of all spiritual practices is the holy name of Krishna, especially for this age. The holy name of Krishna, the chanting of the holy name of Krishna, and Jivadoya, giving this name to the other living entities. This is the essence of the whole religious principles. If we simply chant Hare Krishna and make Krishna the goal of our life, and we try to share this with others, our life is completely successful. So Lord Nityananda Prabhu, he was a preacher. He opened a marketplace to preach, to spread the mercy. So now that you are part of this temple, Ekachakra, you have to also become preachers. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay, then after 15 minutes, we are going out on the street. Okay, maybe not 15, 80 minutes. Get ready mentally. But yeah, everyone has opportunity to give this mercy somehow or other to others. Someone may say, Prabhuji, I'm very, very shy person. I cannot go out on the street. I cannot speak to people. No problem. Just go and smile to them and give them a pamphlet or a visit card. Or even if you are so shy that you cannot go on the street, no problem. You know at least 50 people in your day-to-day life, isn't it? At least 50 people you meet, like your colleagues, the guy in the shop, the guy on the gas station. So many people. Just give them something. Give them a book, give them some pamphlet, invite them to the temple. When you're leaving the shop, tell them Hare Krishna. That's benefit. They're getting benefit. So like that, whatever we can do to give the name of Krishna to others, let's do it because our life is short. And if we're helping others, actually, this is the best way to help ourselves. The best way for us to make spiritual advancement is by trying to share this with others. Hare Krishna. Shintyananda Prabhu ki. Eka Chakradam ki. Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Would you like to go, please? No?
I'll keep listening.
Okay.
I'll be the backup.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, dear devotees, for having us here. And Tusi Prabhu was talking about Nityananda Prabhu. And I remembered one of my favorite pastimes. I planned to speak about something else, but you just reminded me about this. And okay, so I'll try to connect it with what I was having in mind. Let's see how I'll make it. So Nityananda Prabhu, when the devotees from Bengal, they would go to see Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. Mahaprabhu at one point told Nityananda Prabhu, please, oh saintly man, oh holy man, don't come every year to see me. You stay in Bengal and preach. But still, Nityananda Prabhu, as Tulsi Prabhu explained, he is extraordinary avadut. So sometimes he would just disobey Mahaprabhu even, out of love, of course. And when the devotees will travel from Mayapur to Jagannath Puri, there was one devotee amongst them who would take care for all the formalities, and he'll be the main manager. He was Shivananda Sena, and he would arrange for all the payments on the way. There were many toll stations, and also he would accommodate the devotees. He would take care of their places along the way, and also in Jagannath Puri. So then one day, Shivananda Sena had to arrange some formalities, and he was a little bit behind. And then the devotees reached the place where they were supposed to spend the night, some village. But they didn't have the arranged accommodation yet. So they were tired and thirsty and hungry. And Nityananda Prabhu became, what shall we say? He became
Transcendentally angry.
he became a bit irritated, annoyed by this. And then he, in his transcendental emotion, he cursed Shivananda Sena because he did not arrange for my accommodation, and I'm so hungry that I can die and thirsty. So when the wife of Shivananda Sena heard this, she was very disturbed and she started crying. Then Shivananda Sena appeared on the scene. And then he saw his wife crying, and he asked her, what is the problem? And then she explained. Shivananda Sena went to Nityananda Prabhu. He offered to obeisances. But then when he stood up, or prior to that anyway, then Nityananda Prabhu kicked him on the chest. And then Shivananda was very happy. He was very satisfied. And then he said something very special that I wanted to share. He said, "My dear Lord, great personalities like Brahma and Shiva, they always meditate on your lotus feet, but they can hardly see you. And today, the same lotus feet touched my wretched body. In this way, you accepted me as your servant. And just like the master, he sometimes punishes the servant. You also appropriately punished me. And now I'm very happy because I am recognized by you as your servant." Then when Nityananda Prabhu heard this, he was very satisfied. And then the story has a happy end and happy beginning also. Everything was happy about this story, transcendental. So the point here is that anything is better than being neglected by the master, by indifference shown by the master. You know, one of the, when we describe the different grades of devotees, the Madhyama devotees, Ishvara Tata Dinesho, Balishesho Dvishachusa, Pramaitri Kritipo Peksha, these are the characteristics of the Madhyama devotee. And one of these characteristics is that he is indifferent to whom? To envious people. When you meet somebody who is envious on the street, distributing books or doing, you're not hateful, you don't respond in the same way. The devotee should just avoid this person. This is the mercy shown to this person. So this is how the devotees deal with the atheists. And also in the same way, the Lord he loves everyone, but he doesn't interfere with the free will of those living entities who choose not to surrender to him. So this is what the devotees want to avoid. They don't want the Lord to be indifferent to them. They prefer any type of mercy, even when it comes in the form of kicking on the chest, or scolding or chastisement. Anything is better than indifference. Because indifference means you don't really exist for this person, right? Whether you are somewhere in the environment, when the husband and wife, they're quarreling, this is still good. Because it shows that there is some attachment. They still hope that they will work it out. But when the quarrel stops, then that probably means that they have given up. So they will be divorced soon. They don't even quarrel anymore. And for us, it may be a little difficult to accept this lesson from this pastime. But this is the example of the great devotees. This is how we should see when we are corrected by the Lord or by the superiors. And just like it is very bad for us if the Lord is indifferent. Of course, Krishna is never indifferent, but we choose to behave in such a way that he shows indifference to us. In the same way, we shouldn't be indifferent to the Lord. This is what I wanted to say. So let's see now how we'll make the transition between what you said and... So there is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, where Krishna explains to Uddhava, this is part of the Uddhava Gita, he explains what is the most clever and most intelligent thing you can do in this lifetime. And the acharyas, when they comment on this verse, they say that this is the most important instruction of the Lord. And to be clever...
Do you want to hear this instruction?
Okay, so if you go, let's say, and you buy something for $100, and then you're able to sell the same thing for $1 million, you are considered a very clever person, very intelligent. People will worship you if you can do this, you know? They will find out, well, how this person became so rich. Oh, you know what he did? He was so clever. He understood that this thing is very cheap. He bought it and then he sold it there, which is very expensive. You are like the hero, you're a rock star. The problem with this is that even this 1 million or even 1 billion dollars you can make as a profit. It's just a material asset. It will run out. You cannot keep this. You lose it unless you give it to Krishna. Then you will not lose it. You multiply it. So similar thing Krishna explains to Uddhava. So the manishacham esha buddhimatam buddhir manishacham manishinam. The most intelligent thing you can do, and the most clever thing you can do. Yat satyam anriteneha. You buy, you acquire, you take, you get something which is satya. Krishna says, what is it's me. I am the ultimate reward. You get something which is satyam, the actual real truth, by giving away something which is asat. And what is this? Our material body. And martyanapnoti mamritam. You give something that is temporary, that is mrityu. Mrityu means it will die. Ashvata. Ashvata means, one of the meaning is ashvata tree. It means this what is not going to be here tomorrow. It's not permanent. So if you're able to give away, to exchange something which is not permanent, which is destined to die, and you're able to get the essence of reality, of truth, supreme absolute truth, which is Krishna, then Krishna says, this is the most clever thing you can do. And this is the process of bhakti. Our bodies, they're destined to die. And my Ayurvedic doctor in Mayapur, he likes to say, Prabhuji, I know what the body is. The body is not good. I have studied the body. Inside the body, what is it? You don't want to know. So the process of bhakti offers us this opportunity. Imagine you are standing in front of the burning building and some agent comes and he tells you, I'm going to sell you an insurance for this building. You want to buy it? So it's how they say, no-brainer. So this is what Krishna is offering us. This body is already basically dead. This is what we read recently with Tulsi Prabhu. Sri Prabhupada in second canto of Bhagavatam, he explains that the body, the material body, is already dead. Everybody is already, the body is already dead. We're like zombies going around. The body is already finished. The living dead, etc. But still, Krishna is ready to accept our offering, this impermanent thing, and give us the eternal reality. And this is an offer that we better take. Because if you don't take this offer, then what will happen? The body will die and we will lose this opportunity. And then it's just like if you have good money in the bank, but you don't give them to Krishna, what's happening? You lose them. So there is the story from 6th canto where the demigods went to, they prayed to Krishna for protection because the demons were again making troubles and they defeated them, and the demigods prayed to the Lord and the Lord appeared, and then the demigods continued to their prayers and they requested the Lord, please come as avatar and kill this demon Vritrasura. You have come before and you have killed many demons on our behalf, so please continue. This is very nice what you're doing. You're doing a good job. Please continue. And then the Lord told them, he didn't say this directly, but he explained that the great devotees, the pure devotees, they don't pray for material things. So the Acharyas explain, Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport that indirectly the Lord felt, what was the word? He was not happy. He hoped that this time the demigods will pray for pure devotional service. They didn't. They prayed again for, please come and kill these demons so that we can enjoy. And then the Lord told them, please go to this great sage, the Dichi, and ask him for his body, because his body is very strong. He performed lots of tapasya, and from his bones you can make weapon, and with this weapon you will defeat the demons. And the demigods went to this great sage and they asked him for his body, and he told them jokingly, when the soul leaves the body, there is a great pain. Have you not heard about this? Everybody tries to avoid this, to protect the body. And now you're asking me to give up my body for your sake? And the demigods were astonished. So they gave some good arguments, which is very funny because they were giving transcendental knowledge to this great sage who already realized the knowledge, explaining how he has to sacrifice his own body so that they can continue to enjoy their body, which is quite funny. But the Dichi Muni was very advanced, so he just wanted to hear some good instructions. He wanted to amuse himself. And then at the end, he said, yes, of course, I just wanted to hear Krishna Katha from you, basically. So, of course, I'll give up my body. This body is destined to die today or tomorrow. So better take the best possible use, what is the word? Best bargain, and use the body while you can use it for Krishna. Otherwise, if you don't do this, you lose it, and without profit. So this is what we want to do, right? We want some profit. We want to make sure that our time is properly used. Otherwise, we just waste time. And as Shakespeare said, there's one famous king who was put in prison, Richard II, I believe. And then he thought about his life. He was not a good king. And he concluded, I wasted time, and now time wastes me. So we shouldn't be in this position. Better not waste time. Get some profit out of it. Time is money, they say. So while we have time, while we have different assets, we better use them for Krishna. This is the only way we can protect them and multiply them. Otherwise, they'll just go away. And I'll conclude with another verse from 2nd canto. Ayur harati vai pumsam udyanastam chayanasao tasyartha yatkshonita uttama shloka vartaya. With the sunrise and sunset, the sun, a universal clock, Sudarshana chakra, it shortens our lifespan, the lifespan of all living entities, with one exception. If we use our time to glorify the Lord, then we don't lose our time. So now we have been hearing about Krishna since some time and chanting the holy name and worshipping the Lord. We were and we are still beyond material time because we haven't lost this time. You cannot lose something that you don't claim. It's mine. You can lose something only when you say it's mine, it's for my pleasure. Then you lose it for sure. When you don't do that, when it's for Krishna, nothing to lose. You can only gain something. So let us try to take the best of this short, as Tulsi Prabhu said, human form of life. And let's not be indifferent to the Lord, because the Lord, believe it or not, he feels pain in his heart when he sees that we don't want to surrender to him, although he's fully surrendered to us. Krishna is pure devotee of all living entities. And when he says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadarvam Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, what he means is, please try to come up to this standard of selfless love that I already have, and I have shown continuously, and I show to you. And unless you come up to this standard, we cannot really have meaningful relationship. It will be always tainted with selfishness. And when there is selfishness in the relationship, it is always superficial. The Bhagavatam explains, Krishna was pleased by the prayers of the demigods, and he even told them, oh my beloved demigods, I'm pleased with your prayers. Still, he hoped that they will ask for pure devotion. They didn't. And he was dissatisfied. So let's not cause this pain to the Lord. And let's try to be pure in our intentions, in our service. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Guess it's my turn. Mukam Kuroti Vachalam Pungamungai Degirum Yat Kripitamaham Vande Shri Gurandira Taranam Paraman Namadavam Shri Chaitanya Ishram Hari Om Tat Sat. I guess for my sake and for all of your sake, can everyone please chant loudly one Maha Mantra just so I can speak something useful, because I'm not very good at shooting from the hip, so to speak. So please. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. I'm also a little tired. One more time, louder. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. And they say third time's a charm. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Okay, thank you. That was very nice. I'd also like to thank you, Kishore Prabhu. Now it's the third year coming that Ram Ray and myself have been coming here, and it was super excellent. Also have the association of Tulsi and Pandava Prabhu. And what do all you think? It was getting better every year, right? Yeah, I noticed, especially now the kids are getting a little older, they're getting better at mridanga and dancing. I remember the first time they were all a little too little to help out much. So it's very encouraging. I was recently reading something about truth in beauty, which I just wanted to reflect and share with you all, which I thought was very nice. They say that truth constitutes authority, and authority, not that authority constitutes truth. And that's what we're all looking here, like in the Bhagavatam, Satyam Param Dhimahi, that we're all trying to get enthused by the supreme Param Satyam, the supreme absolute truth. There's a Russian proverb that says one word of truth outweighs the entire world. So if that's true, if one word of truth outweighs the entire world, the world must be very false. So we hear that a lot in our philosophy. But obviously for us, due to our different attachments, it's unpalatable truth, given the extent of beauty in this world, which we're attached to. There's another Russian proverb that says, beauty will save the world. The world is so beautiful that we often cling to that beauty. And even though most understand this, the simple truth that the beauty is ephemeral, like we have these beautiful garlands, but what happens after you pluck a flower? It's very beautiful and fragrant when you pluck it, but what happens 2 or 3 days later? It either dries out, or if you keep it somewhere moist. Sometimes flowers actually can produce the most, I don't know if you've all smelled it. I don't know if I want to mention here, but it's sometimes the most putrid smell. And so the truth is that the beauty of this world will not endure, that it's ephemeral. So then how is this that beauty will save us, given that attachment to the beauty will just be the cause of our cycling through samsara? Some people say that, there's some sort of beauty in this world that we're experiencing through art or through music or reading nice poetry or some nice literature, and that beauty has a drop or a semblance of divine beauty, and that when we're attracted to it, it can help us, because then we'll ultimately be attracted to divine truth. But is truth actually beautiful? That our quest for beauty, it must be tempered by this the harsh truth of the ephemeral nature of beauty. That if truth is actually going to save us, then there must be more than this harsh truth that all this beauty that we're attached to in the material world. There must be more to that this one word of truth that outweighs the whole world. The one word being that the beauty is ephemeral, our attachments are ephemeral, like we're gonna have to give it up. We can't hold on to it. That must not be the whole truth. They say that a half truth is worse than just a full straight out lie. And so actually the beauty of the world is what makes life worth living. So if we're going to actually approach the full truth, then it must be something that's inherently beautiful, more beautiful than anything in this world. But on the other hand, if truth is just the negation of the material world, like the Upanishads say, neti, neti, not this, not this. You're not your body. You're not your clothes that you're wearing. You know, we're not the relationships we have. They're going to be gone, and we'll still be there. Those are not part of our identity. If we just take that to its foregone conclusion, can we really live in that void that's created by such negation, unlimited silence and stillness? There is, in such a realization, there is some sort of apparent fullness and in the emptiness, but that's just the fullness of emptiness. Kind of, you go from negative numbers, the negative suffering of this material world, because of all our attachments, and the attachments get taken away, then therefore we suffer. Pretty basic equation. And you go from those negative numbers, you go to zero, and you think that you've profited. And zero, okay, zero is better than negative, but we're forgetting about the infinity of positive numbers. So if we say that one word of truth outweighs the whole world, and that beauty will save us, our quest must be beyond just the truth that we should get away from these temporary attachments. And so, they say Brahma Satya Jaga Mithya. Consciousness is truth and the world is false, but that's not enough. What the Mayavadis say is not enough. That leads to despondency. That leads to irreligion, actually. That's why it's so bad. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, actually, all the opulent, beautiful things in glorious creations, they spring but from a spark of my splendor. And Prabhupada says in the purport, any glorious or beautiful existence should be understood to be a fragmental manifestation of Krishna's opulence. Whether it be in the spiritual or material world, anything extraordinary opulent should be considered to be representative of Krishna's opulence. And so, it said Krishna is Bhagavan Sad Aishvarya Purna, full in 6 opulences. But Krishna's most important opulence is his beauty. And it's also that the most beautiful part of Krishna is that he can perfectly reciprocate in relationships. It said that Krishna is Raso Vaisaha, that he is rasa. So it means if we're actually going to pursue this truth, that we need to pursue our relationship with Krishna. I was reading in the Brahmacharya ashram, they had this nice book about in Rajpur, in Mayapur, the Jagannath deities there. Who knows about those Jagannath deities in Mayapur that has seen them? Yeah, they're very beautiful and very amazing. And Pankaj Jandagiri Prabhu, one of the head pujaris there in Mayapur, he wrote a book about the pastimes that had happened, how Jagannath got there, and it's an amazing story. And how that there was pastimes with the first devotees that were uncovering this ancient Jagannath deity in the early 90s, or in the early 1900s. And then in the 70s and 80s, when the deities were transferred to ISKCON, and how even today, that there's many pastimes that Jagannath would have with his devotees. And so I was just thinking, how are we developing our relationship with here Radha Gopi Janavallabh and Nitai Patita Pavan Gora Hari? And I was thinking one thing is that somehow every year they bewilder Yugal Kishore to make it think it's a good idea to keep bringing me here. But I'm having a lot of fun every time that I come. we always chant in New York City, and it's just the dry New Yorkers that a lot of them are atheistic, and a lot of them just don't want anything to do, and there's not a lot of ecstasy. But we come here, and immediately so much ecstasy. It's like, there's already dry kindling. You just put a little match in, and immediately a roaring blaze. It's a lot better than the wet blanket that we're normally used to, and so we're very happy to do that. And so when we should pursue this relationship, and that'll be the ultimate thing that will, like Pandav and Tulsi are saying, you give Krishna what you can and what you have, and that's how you establish a relationship. You always remember Krishna, and you always remember that relationship. Ayendra Prabhu wrote a book. It's called The Heart of Transcendental Book Distribution, and then the subtitle is Experience Burns Brighter Than Imagination. So we may not be on the level of the 6 Goswamis, who have a very deep and pure established relationship with Krishna, but our relationship can begin from somewhere, and that experience of that relationship can push us forward. You can read it in that book. Devotees have so many wonderful experiences with Jagannath, and I'm sure many of you all, if we had the time, we could hear your experiences. I'm sure this temple didn't just pop out of nowhere, that there was a desire for the Lord to come and reciprocate with his devotees. So that's the ultimate truth, between truth and beauty, that the half-truth is that this world is false, but the full truth is that this world is meant for Krishna and establishing a relationship with him, and then we can attain eternal beauty, the most beautiful thing, the pure relationship, that's what we're all actually hankering for, in so many different unsatisfying ways. But that's what the acharyas tell us, that the most satisfying way is to engage in that relationship with Krishna. So that's what I have to share. And now I'm going to give it to Ram Rai Prabhu. Hopefully he's ready. He's always ready, actually. I've seen him give a class from nothing so many times. It's amazing. I wish I had that potency, maybe one day, by his mercy and by all your prayers and blessings. Hare Krishna.
How to give a class. You sit down, you open the book, you read what it says there, and then you start talking. Any questions? That's all there is to it. So I'm going to read. I see that we've been going a long time, and I think I'll try to keep my thing short. So the Prabhupada was in Los Angeles in 1970, and he explained how Rukmini Dwarkadish, Krishna in Los Angeles, was telling him to go back to India. And Srila Prabhupada had a loving argument with Krishna. No, I don't want to go back there. We had so much trouble trying to do things for Krishna consciousness in India. My spiritual master gave India to my god brothers. He told me to go to the West. We have this nice temple in Watsika Boulevard, and I want to develop it. Here's a little side note. This is, Prabhupada said this, says, my god brothers, their relationship with my spiritual master is they are like daughters in the home. As I am the only worthy son, because I go out and conquered Digvijay. The daughters stay at home. They don't go out. So they stayed in India. Mother India stayed in the house. Okay. So Krishna, Rukmini Dwarkadish, okay, if you go to India, I will give you a temple 1,000 times better than this Watsika Boulevard. And Prabhupada said, My problem is that I can't think small. So Brahmananda Prabhu is telling the story. So Prabhupada said, I couldn't refuse Krishna. He's going to give me a temple 1,000 times better than this. I have to go. So this is a verse from the 13th chapter, the 10th canto, the last chapter that Srila Prabhupada rendered for us before going back home, back to Godhead. And this was a verse chosen to read in one of the Bhagavatam classes during the 6-day festival for the 50th anniversary of the installation of Sri Sri Krishna Balaram, which Srila Prabhupada came to understand was what Krishna promised to give him as the best temple, 1,000 times greater than any other temple, even such a temple as Los Angeles, which I believe still to this day has the title of the Western World Headquarters of ISKCON. That's the place where the BBT is located. And when we hear this, of course, it's specifically, and even Prabhupada mentions the Krishna Balaram Mandir in Vrindavan, but all other temples, especially as we go forward and more temples are established. We were just saying that this temple just didn't come out of nowhere. Devotees desired it, and it's happened. And we should understand that Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda's movement is desired by them, predicted by them, to come to every town and village of the world. So when we expand the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we just have to keep chanting more and more, and then the wet wood will dry out, and then we can get sparks and fire and flames and a bonfire. Maybe not in our lifetime or my life, maybe in your life, but it'll happen, destined. So in every town and village of the world, my name will be chanted. So when sincere candidates come forward, experiencing the ecstasy of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement, what did Lord Chaitanya tell the Korma Brahmin who wanted to leave everything and go with him? No, you stay and you practice Krishna consciousness in where you live. So the temple is meant to give shelter to the sincere candidates who are aspiring to the terrace of prema. Narottam Das Thakur is saying sadhana bhakti and prema bhakti are the same, just like unripe mango and the mango is ripened. You can't say that an unripe mango is not a mango, right? It's a mango, but it just has to ripen and mature. This is verse number 50, the 13th chapter. Chandrika Vishad Smerai Sarupanga Vikshitai Svarkatanam Iva Raja Svatyam Shasti Palaka. Those Vishnu forms, by their pure smiling, which resembled the increasing light of the moon, and by the sidelong glances of their reddish eyes, created and protected the desires of their own devotees, as if from the modes of passion and goodness. Lord Brahma stole the calves and cowherd boys. Has anyone ever been to Gopishwar Mahadev Temple on the east side, eastern, in what is now Old Vrindavan? Just nearby is Bamsi Bhat Maharastali. This is the place where Krishna blew his flute and all the gopis came for Rasa Leela. It was in this place that Lord Brahma attempted to steal the calves and cowherd boys. And if you go to Bamsibat Maharastali, which is being very nicely taken care of by the devotees of the Nimbark Sampradaya, you will see you do a circumambulation, and actually it's said there that if you go around the this wonderful ancient tree 10 times, you will get love for Govinda. But you'll see there is a marble relief, bas relief statue in the wall of Brahma, who's depicted as an old man with a beard, with the calves and cowherd boys. Purport: those Vishnu forms bless the devotees with their clear glances and smiles, which resemble the increasingly full light of the moon. And here is a nice way of understanding something that we're very familiar with from the first verse of Lord Chaitanya Shishastakam, Shreya Karaiva Chandrika Vitaranam, ever increasing, expanding the ocean of the transcendental moon, increasing the ocean of transcendental bliss. As maintainers, they glanced upon their devotees. Close this. Don't push the wrong button. They glanced upon their devotees, embracing them and protecting them by smiling. Their smiles resembled the mode of goodness, protecting all the desires of the devotees, and the glancing of their eyes resembled the mode of passion. Actually, in this verse, the word Raja means not passion, but affection. In the material world, Rajagun is passion, but in the spiritual world, it is affection. In the material world, affection is contaminated by Rajagun and Tamagun, but in the Shuddha Sattva, the affection that maintains the devotees is transcendental. The words Farkartanam refers to great desires. It's mentioned in this verse, the glance of Lord Vishnu creates the desires of the devotees. So we're coming to take the darshan of Radha Gopi Janavallabha, but there's something else going on, which I could say is more important, is that we're coming so they can take our audience, or that they can bless us. So if we worship the deities and we serve them and see them regularly, then what is being described here, the protection of the devotees and their desires being elevated to the highest stage of transcendental affection, will be accomplished incrementally on a daily basis, and ultimately achieving perfection in this lifetime. The Kripa Siddhas and Sadhana Siddhas, when they reach the goal, it's not like when you go back to Godhead, you have to wear a scarlet letter, on your clothes for the rest of eternity. You were like fallen, and now you're here, but actually you're third class. You're on the same platform. There's no distinction. And actually, the sadhana siddhas, especially in Lord Chaitanya's movement, sadhana siddha, sadhana and kripa, they actually are experiencing something, being saved and being elevated to the same position as those who never left the spiritual world. That even those who are on the platform of Nitya Siddha, they aspire to come down and join Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement in this most fortunate Kali Yuga, so they can also experience something wonderful and unique that even on the platform of Nitya Siddha, they cannot experience. Or another way to serve their beloved lords. And for one and all, whether it's the sadhana siddha, the kripa siddha, and the nitya siddha, when they come here, they're simply engaged in expanding Krishna consciousness. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane. Why is Srila Prabhupada very dear to Lord Krishna Bhutale on this earth? With his eyes soaring into the future and with his feet firmly planted on the ground of 26 Second Avenue, Srila Prabhupada was incorporating the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. It wasn't a bare, impoverished storefront, a former curiosity shop. It was a transcendental haven, a holy place of pilgrimage dedicated to the pastimes and the personality of Godhead, a sacred publishing house, a place where an army of devotees could issue forth and chant the names of God in all the streets and cities of the world. Therefore, Sanatana Goswami comments that because the desires of devotees whose attention is fixed on Krishna have already been fulfilled, the Lord's sidelong glances create variegated desires in relationship to Krishna and devotional service. So those variegated desires to serve Krishna in Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement are much more variegated and beautiful and nuanced and desirable than all the variety of the material world and the entire universe. That is for certain. In the material world, desire is a product of Rajagun and Tamagun, but desire in the spiritual world gives rise to a variety of not, temporary, like, somebody's very young and beautiful and handsome when they're young, and then, now they're in their 60s and 70s. Well, no worry. Let's look at the new people who are young, right? Hollywood Fan Magazine. But a variety of everlasting. But desire in the spiritual world gives rise to a variety of everlasting transcendental service. Thus, the word svakatarnam refers to eagerness to serve Krishna. So we're seeing the beautiful forms of Radha and Krishna when we're children, when we're teenagers, when we're in the prime of our youth, when we're middle-aged, when we're old age, when we're very old. But Radha and Krishna, they don't get old. They foundationally remain the same, but they become more and more beautiful as time goes by. And so do we in our constitutional position. Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam, Pradipadam, Purnat Mittas Vardhanam, ever increasing ocean of transcendental bliss. Ever new variety, ever new feature, ever new beauty, nuanced in ways that even Krishna himself cannot predict or understand. Therefore, to understand it fully, he accepts the role of a devotee. Thus, the word Svakartanam refers to eagerness to serve Krishna. In Vrindavan, there is a place where there was no temple, but a devotee desired. So in a place called Farmington Hills was a place that I think this was formerly like a bank building, and they had a drive-through. And what was this building built as to begin with?
Restaurant.
A restaurant. Okay, but then later it became a bank. They had the drive-through, Anyway, so there was a place where there was no temple, but a devotee desired. Let there be a temple and seva, devotional service. Therefore, what was once an empty corner has now become a place of pilgrimage. Such are the desires of a devotee. So this is the hallmark. This is the foundation. This is the Srila Prabhupada, the Maha Sankirtan general, giving us this verse, which is the hallmark. Let's say let's think of some nice. Give me some nice vocabulary words. That all other temples henceforward, that's a pretty cool word, henceforward into the future, is based on this principle. Template, okay. Thank you very much. Shri Shri Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha Ki. Shri Shri Nitai Patita Pavana Gaur Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Thank you very much for your kind words of wisdom. Let us express our gratitude to Ram Rai Prabhu and Natar Gaurang Prabhu, Pandav Bandha Prabhu, and Tulsi Prabhu. Loudly chanting 3 days Haribol. Thank you very much. Actually, we are blessed to have our mayor here. Teresa has been coming, and for those of you remember, she is the first mayor. She came, and ever since then, actually a week after she was elected, she came, and she came and attended Rath Yatra, and she loves to dance with the devotees. So every event, actually, she once said, "I love your community because you people love me." So very grateful to have Teresa and Brian, Teresa Rich and Brian Rich. Grateful for your presence. Let us express our gratitude to them by loudly chanting 3 times Haribol. Please.
Hare Krishna. My name is Teresa Rich. I am the mayor of the city that you chose to plant this beautiful temple 7 years ago. On behalf of your city, I bring greetings and congratulations. From a restaurant, from a blank space, so much good has come. I love so much coming here and seeing how you feed others, not just by food, but by their souls. And that is such an important thing. Farmington Hills is a city of 84,000 people during the